How about now? Green lines. What an idiot. So, no, that was on my end, Cruiser. That wasn't you guys. So, here we go. All right. Welcome to the weekly options live trade brief, and there was much rejoicing. I appreciate JP and K9 sending me a text over the weekend. As many of you know, I was up in Minneapolis. Folks, I got off the jet bridge, and it was 35 degrees, man. Coming from Miami, I almost turned around. But had an absolute blast. But JP and K10 sent me a text over the weekend saying, hey, man, enjoying a couple cold ones on you, and enjoyed our Lucky Strike week. So that's exactly what it was. Maybe I'll rename the name of this service as the Lucky Strike moment. Dennis, regarding the SPX and Apple trades from last week plus Facebook and in AR, last Wednesday I was calling you crazy, but after the market closed on Friday and banking $6,100, I'm now calling you genius. Dennis, I'm calling you awesome because I'm going to grab that. I appreciate that. And I'll explain. It's not genius, guys. It is just it's experience, and that's genius. That's awesome. Well, we're going to talk through it, and I think the biggest Obama teachable moment we're gonna get from this, guys, is our 7-step trade process begins with a strategic mindset, okay? And then we identify our target, and step 3 is to what? Come up with commit criteria. Come up with those 3 to 5 laser-like sentences of why we're going to put this trade on. And I was talking with Rennie, one of my Commanding Officers Club clients, and Richard, welcome aboard. We just got another Commanding Officer Club client as well. I have about bandwidth for maybe 1, maybe 2 more at most. If you're interested in the Commanding Officers Club, which is one-on-one coaching for a year, direct access to my cell phone, Doug, and we eat, Renee and I email 2-3 times a day, maybe even more. But anyway, that was the huge Obama teachable moment, okay? Greg Thompson made $5,125 total on 5 trades on SPX and Apple. LSMFAT, John. Lucky Strike means fine trading. John, I like that acronym. Greg, I'm going to grab your little testimonial there as well. But we'll debrief it, guys, because I know. Let me ask a Greg 5K, and I hope Joseph Higgs is looking at all these returns, because I got to get in the ready room and answer some stuff. But so there's the 2 SPX trades from last week. The bear call spread we put on Monday, at least in this portfolio, made $1,800. I think it was down $5,000 at one point, or $4,500. And I'm going to talk why I sailed right through my adjust and eject point. There are moments like that happen. Remember, when it comes to adjust and eject, those are just. Damn it, I forgot it. I was going to bring my F-18 manual and literally show you the first page of the F-18 operations manual. It says, hey, nothing in this manual takes the place of good head work and judgment of the pilot in command. Translation: you can deviate from the rules in here, adjust, eject, but if you do, you better have a good reason. And if you screw it up, we're going to kill you if you're still alive. And if you're not alive, well, you're dead and you're an idiot. So we'll talk through this, okay? So, yeah, exactly. Shrek, my F-18 buddies up in the Pentagon, I think. Shrek, hey, brother, just got back from doing God's work while on the road last week, made one of your trades and pulled in 1,600. So on Monday, let's debrief. And so there's the Wednesday trade. Remember, I put this on Wednesday morning, this bear call spread, the one that made $1,400. And then obviously our Apple one, I don't even think was in danger at all last week, and that one just went right through the uprights for $1,700. Okay, so let's debrief, because these are, and we're going to put a new trade on because we'll talk about it. But let's talk through exactly what happened. We did this. We didn't do an implosion through the 50-day. Remember, we kind of did. You see that and that? We kind of were sailing along, and we got close to the 50, and I said, guys, I'm bearish. I changed my strategic mindset. We're hovering here. I think we go through the 50-day. And if we do it with serious airspeed, look out below. It wasn't serious airspeed, as Shrek will tell you. It was mid-range. It wasn't full afterburner, man. It was military power. And then the 50-day became resistance, okay? And then going into that weekend, not this last weekend, the weekend before, remember all sorts of certainty: nuclear war, the French election, all sorts of stuff. So when we all woke up last Monday morning, we were all alive. And not only were we all alive, but Le Pen, the Donald Trump in France, didn't crush, Marcon or whatever his name is. What's the guy's name in Mrs. Robinson, The Graduate? Are you trying to seduce me, Mrs. Robinson? That's that dude. He was like in 8th grade, and he eventually marries his drama school teacher. Whatever. But anyway, so we have this rip your face off rally on the Trump lady not winning. I don't believe that. We'll get back to what's going on here, and we'll talk a lot more about this stuff in the PLTB tomorrow. But I got to be honest with you. Look at this weekend. Marcon plummets. Where's Benoit? Benoit, are you in here? Last week, I think you told me, Whiz, she has no chance in winning. They said it about Trump. Everybody was wrong. I was right. Marcon plummets in the polls as Le Pen enjoys a boost. A week away from the election, here she comes. So anyway, let me get back to the debrief, because it's critical that everybody has lessons learned from last week. We got to debrief hard, because I know some of you, as I go through the debrief here, and I'm not going to say your names out, okay? I give you I'm a man of my word. You ready? How many of you, be honest, because this is a debrief, nameless and rankless, prematurely ejected? And I say that with a straight face. I'm pretty good like that. How many of you prematurely ejected, whether you're a veteran? 1, 2, 3, 4. Andrew took last week off. I didn't. Oh, man. Okay. I can say some of the names of people. I rolled mine up and out, at least. Okay. Shrek bailed. Okay, good. Mark, turned into an Iron Condor, went on both. Premature ejection. You heard me, Brad. Got out early, John. Okay, so I'm good. All right, so I'm going to say Ben Braddock. Thank you, John. Bruce, good management, $2,400 profit on that one, $1,800 on Apple. Okay, so I'm going to say out of all the responses of the folks that responded, I'd say anecdotally 30% of you prematurely ejected. So I'm going to, let's debrief this, okay? Tom, did the Braveheart hold? Remember? And if you guys, and I think K9 posted that on our Facebook page here, you know, Whiz and his weekly options trade. Where was that? Guys, make sure you like our Facebook page too. I see some of you as friends on Facebook, and the fact that you haven't liked our page yet means I'm going to hunt you down and I'm going to kill you. But let me, I got to show you this picture. Everybody's seen the movie Braveheart, right? So when I send out a text alert in the future, I want you to laugh at it, and maybe that'll help calm you down. Where the hell is it? Let me just find it real quick, because if you ever seen the movie Braveheart, which I on the ship, on cruise, I think we watched it probably 324 times. I remember how many, so I can say 24. It's that scene when you know, William of Wallace is standing there, and here comes the Brits, and he just keeps yelling, "Hold." And it's very, very hard. This is what he sent. He posted on the Facebook page. I don't know why it isn't here. That's what you have to do. God damn it. All right, can you guys hear me? I think it's my headset. It's on its last legs. Sorry about that. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Yes, no? Good. Sorry. Yeah, it's echo, guys. It's not my headset. It's on the computer. All right, let's go. You guys can hear me. So it's a great scene in the movie when everything is going, they think they're going against them, and I know there's an echo, guys. You're going to have to deal with it. I don't need to hear it 80 times. When somebody tells me it once, I don't need to hear it. So, you know, maybe sometime, let's just take a look at this real quick. It'll be our comedy relief here. What the hell is this?
No. Let me just watch it real quick. It brings a tear to my eye, and let's take a moment because we're gonna have a good time. All right, you guys get the point, right? Let me try one more time with this.
Let me try one more time with the headset because I don't want it to be too echoey. You guys got it? All right, good. All right, thanks, guys. So I needed to show that because sometimes as a portfolio manager with weekly options and surrounded by all my retail trader Scotsmen, I'm Irish, guess what? That's how you need to feel sometimes, okay? Here comes the Brits, here comes the market. So Le Pen victory or loss, market rallies. I'm like, I don't think she's going to lose. And again, here we are back here on the left side of the chart when Whiz was one of the only guys in the industry saying they're all lying to you. The liberals in Europe and the media are lying to you. Then I forget what the hell happened on, I can't even remember what happened on Tuesday, but on, it continued, my God, my notes. It continued on Tuesday and then Wednesday morning when it continued again, and here comes Trump's huge tax announcement. I'm like, hey folks, there's no way in hell he's going to say anything other than what he's said 8,000 times about tax reform. And if anything, it's going to be a sell on the news event. Okay, you know why it's going to be a sell on the news event? Because they're going to put some details out there. And not everybody's going to like it. So you ready for this? I sold the bear call spread, what was it, Wednesday morning? And what happened? It was a sell on the news event. We were in AR, accelerated retirement. It was embarrassing, guys. Steve Mnuchin is I saw that, Steve. We'll talk about what Trump said about the banks. But guys, I've met Steve Mnuchin. He's mousy. He's smarmy. Khan's a good dude. He was your typical Goldman Sachs guy. But that 20-minute brief followed by like 3 questions and then just walking off the stage was an embarrassment. And then you could see it. The market went up a little bit as they were talking, and then it imploded. It didn't implode, but it went down. It was a one-pager. I get it. I love simplicity, especially in taxes. I am that guy who wants to do my taxes on a postcard. And let me get this straight. I use the Coast Guard, the Navy, the National Highway Transportation System or anything more than somebody making half what I make. No, we should all be paying the same tax rate, man. I don't get it. Whatever. I'm not going to rant. But the tax thing sucked, okay? And Trump, what else happened last week? Oh, yeah, potential government shutdown. What else happened? Oh, my God, the potential government shutdown. And then on Friday, something else happened. Oh, Obamacare repeal, guys. The second, we're 0 for 2. We're going to get health care passed this week. Huge. Get it done. Friday, done. He missed. So, folks, after this type of rip-your-face-off rally, look at us. We Schreckle, with this airspeed, man, you're going to stall. And 2,400 to me was going to be resistance. There's no way in hell that rally was going to continue. And like I said on Friday, I know of no trader, no investment, no hedge fund guy who is long going into any of these weekends now. Oh, shit, Brad, thank you. My God, man. They say the memory's the second thing to go in an old guy like me. Brad, thank you. The missile. He lit off a bottle rocket, man. Or I think that was that over the weekend? I don't even remember, guys, but still. Oh, Patrick, that's what it was. It was GDP. GDP sucked. The last time we had a good macroeconomic announcement, what did Trump do? He was out of, hey, jobs, me, Trump, rally. The GDP was awful. The worst print in 3 years. Oh, that's Obama's fault. But when I get good numbers, it's because of me. And for all my, and you're probably not a member here. I know a handful of you are liberals and Democrats that just stick around for the trades and hate my politics. But guess what? You're probably gonna love this. I think the guy's really starting to suck. Okay, and we're gonna get deeper into this tomorrow in the PLTB. I'm taking way too much time, but we needed to debrief. You're here because, like I said, Shrek and I, or as an F-18 instructor pilot, man, you're getting to sit in the back seat of my jet and watch me trade, and you need to hear me think and tell you why I'm maneuvering high, low, why I'm using this weapon at what time. That's a replay of last week. So for all of you who prematurely ejected, let me talk about trading methodology, because I know a lot of traders. Most of the professional traders I know, when they put on a trade, they don't really manage it. They put it on because they think it's going to work. They set it and forget it. I'm 60-40 on that. I get it. If I put a trade on, I'm 100% certain it's gonna win. But if I can manage it, I will. But just know this: most of you most likely prematurely ejected at the worst possible moment. Okay, so yeah, how could I forget the Blutarski GDP 0.0, man? It was like the grade point average of Senator Blutarski in Animal House, guys. So the lesson, the biggest takeaways, folks, is on Monday, last Monday, I gave you my strategic mindset. I said, this is a crazy week, and I'm not going to rehash everything I just said, but hopefully that gives everybody who prematurely ejected a little bit of insight into why I held on to those trades. The Apple trade was fine the whole week. The SPX one I sold on Wednesday really was never in danger. And towards the end of the week, man, when you see a beginning of a week like that, seriously, folks, Jesus Christ would need to be, rolling back the boulder and popping out for that rally to continue. Oh, here's the other thing I forgot. It's all coming back to me. Amazon and whatchamacallit, Google. I'll never call it Alphabet since it killed me on an iron condor when they renamed it. Folks, their earnings were disgusting. Amazon, I think he's Emperor Palpatine, man, Bezos. He can build the Death Star. The guy's that rich. Intel, Microsoft, I really don't even care about those companies. But those tech earnings, remember after the close on Thursday, I got a couple, Ready Room posts or some texts like, holy shit, Whiz, those tech earnings were blowout. And I'm like, yeah, but it's going to be a little bit of a sell on the news. Amazon and Alphabet, good earnings, ain't enough to pound us higher. And oh, by the way, oil's in the background too, a little bit. Okay. So anyway, exactly. So guys, thank you, Rogelio. I'm gonna copy that one too. Last week, threading the needle, 2385, 2390 by 80 means you really know what you're talking about when it comes to the market. I am truly impressed. I appreciate the compliment, guys, but hopefully by the time your membership, I'm gonna threading needle. I'm gonna save it as that. So, Rogelio, I appreciate that. It's experience. And it is that Braveheart mentality, man, of knowing that I'm right. Now let's enough Whiz pat himself on the back type of time. You guys know I don't. That's not my personality. Or when you come down to Miami, you're going to see that. But know that I can be completely wrong, folks. I could have been completely wrong. I mean, what's the other side of everything I just briefed you on that could have been great to help the market go up even higher? Nothing, man. I really can't see anything out there. The tax thing was a letdown. The earnings, we knew they were going to be freaking stellar. The GDP, phenomenal disappointment. The Le Pen loss, I think, is a lie. And I just saw through everything, okay? So enough about that. 21-minute debrief about, and some tech issues, my apologies. Does everybody have some solid takeaways from last week? Give me a vertical head nod if you do, especially the premature eject guys. For the folks that just blindly follow me, I don't like that, and that's, I mean, I know some people are here doing that, and that's just kind of wrong. I want to teach you how to fish, but did everybody get some Obama teachable moments? This is what you're here for. This is why you're members. Good. Fish, Marion, David, James, Rob, okay. And Fish, I know this ain't your first rodeo, and indeed, Cruiser. A lot of my veterans still, and you're well, yeah, Steve's like, hey man, I've been here for 4 years, and I relearned that stuff. I'm glad I didn't prematurely eject and did the Braveheart hold. Real Juan, duh, yeah, again. Mike, yeah, still learning. Good, guys. And remember, let's just talk about Shrek. It was. Shrek said, I watched it until the last minute. It was awesome, better than the Super Bowl. And Jim, yeah, I did. It was helpful to calculate the break-even point. Good, Tim. Still learning, but staying on your wing. Bill, learning. Okay, guys, excellent. Remember, let's talk communication real quick. I put some calm out last week, but remember, and I'm not going to change the way I am, to be honest with you. I'm, 48 years old, and I'm not going to change the way I am, meaning if I brief you on something, and which I do when we open a trade, I'm going to put another bear call spread on because we got a lot going on this week. We got jobs on Friday. But when I brief you on something, here's what I'm going to do, and then that's the brief. If I don't say anything, that's what I'm doing. If you don't see a text from me that says adjust or reject, I'm not doing that. And if you have a question about that, just hop in the ready room and go, hey, Whiz. Some of you do. Hey, Whiz, we're kind of through our eject point. What's the deal? And then I'll answer that and go, I didn't adjust or I didn't eject, and here's why. Okay? So that's what we're Paul, Whiz, been with you for a year. Call me a slow learner, but I hung in for the first time and made about $1,000. Paul, that's shit hot, my brother. That's awesome. More importantly, and again, I can't be your financial advisor, and if you guys trade in real capital, that's on your own end. But did you learn something, Paul? That's more important. Arthur, Whiz, you have nerves of steel. It's hard to hold, Braveheart hold, when you are looking at $5,000 loss. I held but feel 5 years older. Arthur, I used to feel that way. Mike, I'm a newbie here and look forward to my first trade. Good. Hey, Lisa, well put. For nervous Nellies, start position sizing to be able to handle the full loss occasionally. Yeah, guys, I wouldn't be dropping Moabs like my $5,000 risk. That's me, guys, and that's what I put at. But Arthur brings up a good point. It's really not nerves of steel, guys. One more time, and then we got to move on because we're dragging out here. Listen to me again. If I gave you my strategic mindset for last week, I was neutral to bearish, and then we picked SPX and Apple, and then I gave you commit criteria for those trades. As again, write this down, record this, do whatever you have to do, put it on a yellow sticky on your computer. If my strategic mindset and my commit criteria are unchanged and the trade's going against me, hold. Print out a little picture of William of Wallace, put it on your computer, okay? Now, for all the attorneys in the audience and compliance officers, which I am, that won't work 100% of the time. I got it. But based on our weekly options win rate with last week, we're up to a 94% win rate year to date in weekly options. So 51% win rate, you might say, all right, the guy's not the village idiot. With a 94% win rate, I think we're doing pretty good, okay? Mike, trade smaller and sleep better. You got it. Fish, I trade smaller contracts all the time for safety and emotional stress. You got it. Awesome. Greg, only one of my 3 SPX trades was at 23.85, 23.90. The other 2 were pilot and command. Good for you, Greg. All right, guys. So we got to move really quick. Strategic brief, guys. This is embarrassing. I really wish the Democrats or the liberals that bail out during the full throttle launches would be here because I'm about to hammer this guy. JD, that's exactly right. That was breaking news. First of all, I'm livid at that headline, that the president is considering breaking up big banks. Where the F in the Constitution does it say he can do that? I must have a really old copy here in my computer bag I travel with. I'm furious. Barack Obama, when he fired, do you guys remember this? I do, because I'm so mad I could spit. Do you remember when Barack Obama fired the CEO of General Motors? I swear to Christ, folks, my sharpened pitchfork and my torch, I was on my way to D.C. Who the hell thinks they can do that as the President of the United States? I hate it when Obama did it, and the fact that he just said, I'm thinking about breaking up the big banks. Who are you, dude? So that is not good news for this market, okay? Here's other bad news. The guy needs to shut up. His off-the-cuff comments are ridiculous, okay? General McMahon, so here's what Trump said. South Korea going to pay for our deployment of the THAAD system, Terminal High Altitude Air Defense. The THAAD system, folks, we put in South Korea. It's to knock down potential Korean bottle rockets. You know what Trump said? Yeah, the South Koreans are going to pay for that deployment. Holy shit. South Korea said, excuse me? They're in the middle of a presidential race, folks, where the guy that's leading doesn't like Trump, and he wants to engage with Pyongyang. Look at that sign right here. Koreans hate THAAD. So General McMaster, JD, you'd love to see President Obama and me talk one-on-one. I'd love to talk with that dude one-on-one. It wouldn't be too much talking. Bruce, glad to see you're coming around on Trump. Man lacks conviction on anything except Bruce, I was always like that, okay? If you remember, Bruce, if you were here long enough, I never talked necessarily about the man. I talked about his policies. But now his policies are his policies, which he's backing out on. The freaking wall, all this other shit that he promised to do day one. China, day one. Currency manipulator, huge. Didn't happen. So Bruce, I'm not coming around. I'm being vocal that. So General McMaster, the National Security Advisor, had to come out and say, no. What the president meant to say was blah, 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 blah. So General McMaster is like the guy in the circus in the white suit walking behind the elephant. Kind of a world of shit. Cheryl, a lot of shit comments. Al, thus policies are turning to shit. So folks, why am I ranting about this? Because it means that this trajectory that we've been on, the reason I sold that bear called spread this morning and I got filled, I'm going to do another one right now, is because I'm awake. I've been awake the whole time. Matter of fact, it's like I had Red Bull for lunch, but not. I'm just very fired up because look at this. Pop level. If you think there's going to be another leg up here, do me a favor for all my bullish folks in the audience. What's the next leg up? Yeah, Bill, no shit. Bill, Barack Obama, $800,000 in 2 speeches. One to Cantor Fitzgerald, a Wall Street firm. The guy's a disgusting hypocrite. Even Pocahontas was like, yeah, that's kind of troubling. And Bernie Sanders, yeah, I wish he isn't doing that. Could you imagine if that was a Republican? They'd destroy that person. So, EB, we'll talk about that tomorrow, the VIX being so low. Listen to me, folks. I know this is weekly options. If you don't have a bullish double vertical in VXX right now, you're nuts. I do not see any major catalyst for this market to go up, period. Whiz, Apple, and Facebook earnings. Guys, the market knows they're going to print money. Apple is a serial under promiser and over deliver, okay? And the fact, we talked about this, folks, the fact that Apple has been running up into earnings, remember the couple times we've seen this, guys? Look at this. Seriously? So, my strategic mindset for the week, what else is going on? We got an FOMC meeting. They're not going to raise rates. Look at this. You ready? The third time. The House is going to vote on Obamacare Wednesday. Confident it has the votes. You said that the first time, you jackass. You said that last week, you jackass. So maybe I'm really starting to feel like Charlie Brown, and he's Lucy with the football. Okay, so I can't. I'm so worked up over this this shit, man. And then Trump, I'm just going to jettison all my priorities. The wall, the this, the that, everything that I kind of campaigned on. I get it, folks. Trust me. I was in real estate for a while when I got furloughed from American, and I get negotiations. You come in with I'm not moving from this, and then you meet in the middle. He's starting to look pretty bad. Okay. Fed meeting, GDP was weak. What else? Here you go. U.S. personal spending was reported today. Savings are at a 7-month high. Well, that's good, Whiz. That's awful news, folks. Savings rate at 7-month highs means people are putting it in their Folgers can and burying it in the backyard. They're not spending it. So weak consumer spending was what slowed GDP. And guess what? Personal spending came out today, and it sucked. I'm trying to find the ray of hope in this market for this week. It's got to be Apple and Facebook. Bernanke, I had to watch Comedy Central this morning. Good. I completely disagree with that guy. The only reason the market is up at this levels, the macroeconomic data suck, is quantitative easing. Remember the $85 billion a month, man, that this guy printed out of the back of his Lincoln Town Car? I do. QE 1, 2, 3, 4, Operation Twist. What was the other operation? I forget the names, man. So look at him. 3% growth. Trump and Mnuchin and Khan, they've all promised 3% growth. Bernanke's like, yeah, that ain't happening. And I would think this guy knows a little bit better than Trump. Folks, last Wednesday, there was no clarity on what these guys can do with all the cash they have overseas. $250 billion in Apple is sitting in County Cork, Ireland. No news on that. Goldman warns that the gap between stock investors' hopes and reality is close to an all-time high. Oil tumbling to it's under $50, man. We're down at a 48 handle, guys. There's why? Well, I thought Libya agreed to cut production. What are you, stupid? The Libyans? Is there even? I think it's a country on a map. Is there a dude that runs that place? So, guys, again, I'm not trying to talk you into. I'm giving you a rant and my mindset, just like I did last week. There's nothing. There's nothing to power this market higher this week. You ready? Whiz always does this because he's a hedger. He's an options trader. He's a fighter pilot. They think about the exact opposite. I could be a complete fool this week and something great freaking happens. Great. I just don't see it for the market. Okay. Paul, cash is always king. JD, being president is a tough job. Not according to Trump. Well, actually, according to Trump. You see, we saw JD and what was it, the Face the Nation interview? This job was a lot harder than I thought. You know when he said that? He said that on the day that 2 Army Rangers were killed, most likely by friendly fire. Are you fucking kidding me? That guy, on the day when 2 Army Rangers got killed, he had the balls to say, yeah, it's a little harder than I thought. Okay. Let's move on here. Clay, so if Apple is moved, where should we sell the weekly calls against the current leads? Clay, that's a PLTB question. Do not sell any front month upside calls against the stock that has earnings, man. No. Nobody do anything with Apple front month calls unless you want to gamble. That ain't me, man. So Clay, 0. We're not doing anything with weekly calls. Cruiser, if they vote on healthcare, it's a non-event. Nobody cares anymore. He had one chance to get it right the first time. I don't care if it gets done. The market is so far past it, Cruiser. Nobody cares. You know who cares about healthcare? Poor people. And that's not me being a jerk. That's what the CIO of one of the largest hedge funds in America said when the first healthcare thing failed. He's like, nobody, you think we care about healthcare? He was right. It was a Gordon Gekko moment. Also, what about EWZ? Where should we sell the weeklies? Clay, I'm not talking to EWZ. This is weekly options. Al, with you on that. Rant equals entertainment. Thanks, JD. All right, I'm going to sell one more bear call spread. I got filled on this one and then went for a run, and it's up at $1.25. If you are not filled on this, don't do it. Well, you shouldn't try and get it right now because guess what? It's outside of my limit. I think I said 90 cents plus or minus 10 cents. It's way above that. So I'd roll. You could either roll, for those of you who like to manage trades, you could potentially roll this trade up right now and maybe even get a credit. Let me just click roll up for a second. Right here. Let's do some Obama teachable moments here. You could, no, that's backwards. You could potentially get it for a small, no, it's a debit. It is a kick in the teeth, Harry, for the middle class. So I'm not going to roll this. This is a Braveheart hold moment. So I won't play the clip again. Maybe if you're feeling a little frosty, you can play that clip every once in a while. The other reason I sold the bear call spread is look at that. Look at this, guys. Trump says he's going to break up banks. The market, we don't care. We don't believe a word the guy says. That's why this happened. If this were Obama, people would believe him, and the market would be down 300 points right now. Okay, so let me take a look at a new bear call spread. I'm probably going to go up $5. I'd look at the 2405. I still think for this week that it's going to be a hard hump getting above 2400. It really is kind of resistance here. So I'd take a look at the 2405, 10. I don't think we're going to implode this week, guys. Let me go back to this chart because, like I told you in the text message, I said I'm looking to leg into an iron condor. You see this? We're kind of doing these moments. Remember this about a month ago in March and April? We did some great SPX iron condors, didn't we? And just normal spreads. This was a hover, guys. I put markets hovering, and it was, and somebody in the right room said it's not, and it was. So I think we're going to trade sideways a little bit, man. I don't feel the anyone. Rogelio, I got filled on the first one. Should we not hold? Rogelio, I just told you what I'm doing. I can't tell you what to do. So if you didn't hear me watch the replay, I just said what I am doing. Can't tell you what to do. I am holding it. So, and I also, Rogelio, just said if you ain't in the mood for a lucky strike or a Braveheart, here comes the Brits. I just looked at potentially rolling it up for Friday, rolling it up $5. So there's a couple things an investor could look at. They could look at rolling it up right now since it's Monday, and you could roll it early, and you might be able to get a credit. I'm way overboard here, guys. So Rogelio, play with it on your own. You could potentially roll it up for Friday, or you could not do it. You could close it. Okay. So I am going to definitely look to leg into an iron condor here. And we're giving a little bit back here. Oops. Let me make sure I sold. So I'm looking to sell. This would be, if you didn't get filled on the first one, this would be the one that I like now. Selling 15 of Friday's 2405 calls and buying the 2410 calls. Okay. Let me do this. SPX 512. That's the second trade. I'll label it like that. Create order. Let's go 80 cents plus or minus 5 cents, man. I'm going to go tight. I wouldn't go under 75 cents. The risk to reward is awful. But look at the probabilities here, guys. Using current at the money volatility as I'm speaking, the volatility as I literally just said speaking, there's a 73% probability of this trade hitting max profit, and nearly look at the break even, guys. Nearly, let's just round up. Allow me to borrow at 1%, meaning 3 out of 4 times this trade is going to break even. So that's a no-brainer to me, guys. And I shouldn't have said that. As soon as I said the words no-brainer, this market's going to have a rip your face off rally. Watch. That's Whiz's luck here. So does that make sense to everybody? Okay. Rob, I can't answer that right now. I know that's a decent question, Rob. Rob asked, hey, what would be the strikes of the bull put spread? Here's why I can't answer that. If we hover and turn around Tuesday, and remember, guys, we'll talk about this tomorrow morning. Sell in May and go away. It's May 1st. That Wall Streetism is an ism for a reason. It's usually true. What does that mean? I was at peak 6, folks. Rich people, traders, hedge fund man, you know what they do? They They're heading to the Hamptons, they're heading to Aspen, they're heading to the islands. It's no, the kids are getting out of school, sell in May and go away. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I don't know, but the bull put spread strikes, folks, I won't give you, because let's say tomorrow the market does kind of go, there's nothing going on this week. The bull put spread strikes will change. I'm not putting them on today because I think for the rest of today we've kind of gotten our market direction, which is up 5 or 6. Okay, so that's about it. I can't give you the strikes right now. If you're looking at a technical analysis point of view, I'd probably looking at the 23. I'm going to say this, but so you can go maybe hunt around on your own. Maybe the 75.70, 23.75.70, and that's probably the risk to reward on that one's probably a little. If we start pulling back a little bit and selling off today, yeah, that would be it, guys, right there. And I'm going to save this one because if we do just keep kind of wallowing around here, maybe around 3 o'clock, I might put this one on. So, but I'm not doing that right now. If you don't get a text alert, like I just briefed you, if you don't hear me, I'm not doing something, okay? Oops, shit, said the idiot. That's canceled. Sorry, my bad. Come on, SPX 2405, 2400 is in the $1.20 range. Come on, you're looking at the wrong strikes. There's no way. It's at 80 cents, man. You're looking at probably Wednesday's expiration. That's wrong. All right, man. Let me text this out, and we gotta split. We'll have a good time tomorrow morning in the PLTB. Sorry about some of the rants, man. The guy's pissing me off. And when you lose me, you lost me, man. I was the guy rooting for him and helped the Trump rally, and man, we nailed it. Fox News, Wall Street Journal. Oh, I got to put those interviews. May 5 expiry. And that's one of the reasons our full throttle launch, the past couple have been record breaking. And like I said, we only limit it to 50, and we do a couple of you are doing the Commanding Officers Club, 80 cent credit, plus or minus, I said 5 cents, not too much. I'd adjust this. I'd think about adjusting it if it goes up to $1, maybe 35, and eject at double the credit I took in, which is $1.60. Looking to leg into iron condor. SPX bear call spread, sorry. I was like, why do I have a lot of characters remaining? May 5 expiry, sell those. Oops, buy. Man, I think my rant drained my mind energy in my mind movies. I'll send that, and then I'll send an email to my SMS people. Thanks, Rob. Need more rants, John. Love your style, Commander. Hooyah. Hey, guys, remember the prices are going to go up here relatively soon for the Miami event. So you need, not weekly options, having SMS issues. New SPX weekly options. We're gonna have a good time, guys. Airfare is cheap as hell to South Florida. You can either fly into Fort Lauderdale, you can fly into West Palm Beach, you could fly into Miami. Obviously, Miami's closer to the hotel, but airfare is cheap. We got a good room rate. You guys need to be signing up here, okay? Event. And let me give you this link. And for the folks who made $6,000 last week, $5,000, if you're not coming to this event, I'm going to be very, very upset with you, okay? And I mean like Michael Corleone upset, okay? Andrew's going to see me in Miami. I know that, brother. Harry, I can't tell you. Harry's saying, hey, if I'm in the 2400, 2405, should I do the second one? I don't know. I don't know if you're capital constrained. That's between you and your financial advisor. I am doing both. I'm not, you know, you're getting to see what I'm doing. If I put another one on, I put another one on. I can't tell you what to do, Harry. I just can't. Cruiser rolled early, man. Cruiser, good call. If that's what, hey, Whiz, I'm going to roll this thing a little early. I have a different strategic mindset than you. Awesome. I love hearing that stuff, man. Independent fighter decisions. Shrek knows what that means, and every once in a while you got to make an independent fighter decision, and I'm glad I covered that. You're welcome. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I covered it is, hey, here's potential. If you're already creeped out, if you didn't like the Braveheart hold last week and you don't smoke Lucky Strikes, maybe on a Monday when it does this and you're not too happy and you don't want to see any losses, who the hell wants to see losses? You do the early roll. And then if the market does what it did last week and we were right, you can sit there and go, okay, here's what I learned from that. I made some money. I didn't make what everybody else made. Okay. No, it is, Bruce. You can't be long and short. They're thinking you're trying to close out the 05, the long calls, okay? So, Bruce, you'd probably have to roll it or close it and put on the new trade. Rogelio, the TGO is the Bible for me right now. Awesome. You too, Paul. All right, guys. Kavan, I will show you this. Shrek just went and bought a box of cigars for the week while on vacation. Awesome, man. Here is the new trade, guys, and then I'm going to let you all go. The credit is 85 cents. Kavan, you're looking at the wrong strike potentially if you're seeing anything other than this. Not the wrong strike. You're looking at Wednesday. There's a Wednesday expiration in SPX. Okay, so don't forget that. Make sure you're looking at the right expiration. And I'll do it again. I'll put it up here. There it is. All right, guys, I got to run. I'll get the recording out here shortly. I get the recording out within an hour. Somebody who canceled recently was like, it comes up a day later. I'm going to get on Doug, guys, about putting his replays up sooner. I get mine up right away, so whoever said that was full of shit. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Fish, make sure she sends me an email with confirmation about what? Type that real quick, Fish. All right, guys, and I will see many of you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in the primary live trade brief. And we're almost a month out from everybody getting together down in Miami. It's going to be a good time. Okay, Fish, I think that's good. You're good to go. Okay, I did hear about that. All right, Cheryl, I'll see you tomorrow as well. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. And I'll see many of you in the PLTB tomorrow. We'll see you.